Hello lurkers, and hello all you archaeologists. Welcome to the proximity. I'm the Johnstruct, having an Eclipsium adventure. I'm going to move the microphone a little bit closer to myself, because it feels like I might be being drowned out by the sound. I don't know. I hate sound on OBS so much. It's just, you'd think the bars would tell you all the information you need to know, and they don't. They don't tell you enough. It lies to you. It lies. Anyway, I wouldn't lie to you, dear viewer. Maybe I would. I don't know. You don't know who I am, do I? We're going to continue our Eclipsium adventure. Strictly speaking, I shouldn't be playing this yet. I haven't finished my last horror game. But I decided to play it. And when it gets written down, I have to, because otherwise my brain does a thing where I'm like, well, it's written down, I have to do it now. I can't find my brain. And maybe that's what this game is all about. Who knows? I'm not touching that again. That's gross. Duck. We'll do a little hop if we want. Gonna move this over there. I'm also just gonna briefly click off screen to make sure I'm actually streaming. I am actually streaming. Lovely. Cool. Bit of tearing, which you presumably can't see, but I can. And yes, that still unsurprisingly has not been changed. We are still underground. You can see a sort of echo of it. Well, I believe we found ourselves in a strange room. This strange room. Is that a person? To be a different thing depending on what layer you're looking at. I like the pixel effect. I just don't like the tearing very much. Oh! I mean, I figured I'd need that. There you go. I gave you my heart. Curious. Curiously enough, cutting off the tongue was a lot more viscerally kind of hard to look at than like plunging your hand into your heart and pulling out. One, I don't think my hand could do that. I'm weak. You could push me over so easily. But like even like the strongest person, I don't think is breaking through a ribcage. Not even anyone else's ribcage, let alone their own. So this is not me nitpicking. Obviously, I get that this is all happening in like abstract metaphoric space. That's all fine. I'm just saying, like, I don't have like a visceral fear of somebody ever snatching my heart. But cutting my fucking tongue off, no thanks. Is this new power. Eyes unclouded. Use the optical instrument to view hidden paths and objects. I might have to steal that. So I'm writing a book, as many people attempt to. I'm sure no fucker will ever read it. I'm 40,000 words in, and but I have introduced a character that has a hole in his hand like that. Now he has no reason to ever look through his hand like that, but there's going to be 5 of them. One of them can. Backwards now. Are these were those razor blades? Okay, I should pay attention to the oh, that's interesting to see white. Attempting to steer this one-handed. I have my little finger on one of the analog sticks and my forefinger on the other, in case you're curious as to how I was doing this. And the controller's on my lap. But yes, it's not the most... method. It's an interesting is it a filter or is it a shader that's doing that? I don't know how shaders work in 3D. I assume they work with 2D surface. But yeah, I can see the image. Oh yeah, and the sort of pixel, there's multiple, and I can now see the bars, whatever that would be called, the bands. So I don't even know if you need a shader or not. I think you do actually, because it's based on distance from the camera. That's going to require additional information. Shaders are really interesting. This is kind of an unusual one if it's a shader though. I remember when Warcraft first introduced shaders, where it just did outlines of characters, and I was like, how the fuck did they do that? The Christmas tree? No, it's a clearing. the shader we're all familiar with is that effect where it's like you do a drawing and it gradually colours in or gradually fills in, and that's a really cool shader. That's everyone does that nowadays. And the way they do that shader is there's a black and white drawing, and the graduation of fade is done by darkness to light, so it's fading from black to white. We should probably take stock of what has happened so far. So, we wake up in a hospital, we rip out our tongue, and we cut it off. That's what feeds the door, that's how we get home. We exit the hospital, which has been abandoned. It leads us into woods, a cabin, and a stream, and a pass. So it leads us up to like a mining equipment. And we traverse this, probably a mountain, but cliffs. Up and then down into mines. Yes, and the hospital sort of turns into... This kind of looks like a hotel, doesn't it? Or motel. Every time we die, it has that toilet in all hospitals. It leads us back outside. So, in the mines, we had to move some... We had to traverse darkness with wormy monster things grabbing at us, and we had to keep them at bay, light. And if we were able to do that, we found ourselves into a cathedral. We handed over our heart, and a door was open to us. Before we went down into the mines, of course, we grabbed ourselves a knife, didn't we? That cathedral gave us the ability to see things that are not there. With that ability to see things that aren't there, we walked a strange path in the void until we arrived in a forest where we followed a woman. It was a creature. We did not realise too late. That creature ate us, and here we are. We died and came back. Now we are at the village. Seems like it'll be comfortable to me, but whatever. To have a little look around before I descend. We'll fall backwards, John. Keys. will... There we go. Do that now. Investigate the church. Strange mists here. Strange house, perhaps? This is the church from the other side. It might be. I don't know if it is the church. It's just the house. The tower. Take it back to the well. Enjoy the music that's playing. Shall we? Drink some cold tea. Like they were holding it like a lantern. Also surprisingly close to us considering the distance our arms out. Really big as well. What I'm saying is the perspective is a tiny bit wonky. Hello, Scarecrow. Some sort of farmhouse. With a vein. By the way, when I'm saying things are wonky, I'm not complaining. I enjoy the stylization. though. We require 3 keys. I assume there are 3 different avenues of investigation. Didn't really turn the lights on, did I? Boat. I wonder where it will lead me. I assume they tell me where the keys are. Feels very Moses code. What's that last one? Firstborn sons? all this green makes me think of Dagoth as well, but a certain shade of green. What was I waiting for? A certain shade of green? Actually found the third door yet. I hope I'm loud enough to be heard. This seems like it's quite a quiet game. But according to the stupid audio mix, I'm super loud. It's almost as if the fucking audio mixer lies. So I think the way that works is I need to like select it, let go of, I need hold this button, and then I need to push this in the correct direction and then let go and keep it held. That's how I select things. What's the bucket for? Seems like the bucket's for water. Someone good. Down there, please. falling. Every time I see those hands, I think how. Because I used to watch a program on children's television as a child. How to. And I appreciate that sort of like. I don't actually know if this is a thing or not, but it's sort of Native American how. It's like what I was taught as a child, and I don't actually know if that's a real thing or not. Like, I'm worried that I'm going to sound really dumb. Like, I don't know, I don't believe that's a thing. Like, it could be, but I actually don't know. How? That's, suddenly, that memory came to my brain. I was like, hang on a minute, I've never fucking heard that ever since childhood. I'm being perceived. Scrutiny. Back in the hospital. Found a big ass key. Let's take it with us. That's not the corridor we were in last time. Back in the strange village. On the other side of the gate. Finally, the church. Has been what we were waiting for. We'll continue along the path, shall we? Slowly. But surely. See where it takes us. Ah, a keyhole. Chip of an eye. Ooh. cigarette, lickety split. Could be a bit slower than that. I see a bell. It tolls. But for whom does it toll? I can hear the villagers chanting. But I do not recognize those words. It's on fire. I like that shot. I'm choosing to call her that. Or were we the doll all along? Have we always been in the hospital? Give. Cold fire. Use the burning instrument to light your path. Ah, because we weren't allowed in the darkness before. It's a bit weird that our magic eye can't see in the darkness, but I feel like there's a bit of an overlap there. It's a meat rack. Pigs. Dead pigs. Factory. So, I was going to save some of my thoughts till the credits. I don't know how close the credits is. There's a lot of evocative imagery in this. And the thing with evocative imagery in this sort of abstract space is it lends itself to many interpretations. Maybe that's the point, but it's generally going to, you know, because it might just be personal to yourself, right? Which is a good way, because then you're like, well, it means something to me, but if you happen to have read someone else's interpretation and you didn't have one, then it's not a personal interpretation. Suddenly you're like, well, that makes sense. I guess I'll go with that. And I've already read what a couple people thought of it, accidentally. So I might not, credits have an interpretation. It might take me a few days, which means it won't be on stream. That's the problem with these sorts of experiences. Okay, so there's the factory. I might as well leave it. But my limiter wasn't on, so I actually might have been overwhelmed by sound. Then it's actually gone down, but I was like, hang on, why is the sound so loud? We might have missed a bit of music that was going on as well to help with the atmosphere of this area. But yes, we appear to be going through a series of vignettes and their connectiveness. Well, I don't know how they're connected. I like that these make it modern, but the architecture feels much older. I can hear seagulls. the association with fire with progress immediately after the association with fire with like anti-progress, because you burn witches, right? But you also, witches are very medieval, very sort of thing born from ignorance. Fire symbolically is can mean the opposite of itself. It's an interesting tool, metaphor. What have we done with all this progress? All this fire? Built yet another church. So I don't actually know how long this game is, but considering I've filled my hand, I'm assuming I don't have much time left. I'm going to leave it here, even if that makes it a little bit shorter. But I might have to just glue the end onto this if it's like 2 minutes. Also, we have to figure out how to open the door. Oh, it's probably got something to do with those two. Are they Bunsen burners? Are they just candles? Is there any difference? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Thank you very much for watching. I've been having an Eclipsium adventure. I did give away my heart. I wonder if we'll lose our minds next. Farewell. Thank you very much for watching. I'm playing Eclipsium. Been having an Eclipsium adventure. See you next time.